Hi, this is Brian Icenhower, and I am here with Audra Heller. Audra and I have had the pleasure of working together for the past few years, and it's been wonderful coaching Audra and watching her business grow over the course of that time. And she agreed to sit down with us today to tell you a little bit about what's helped her grow both her business and her lifestyle throughout this process. So Audra's humble, so before I do want to kind of brag a little bit about how her business has grown over that time. And Audra, when I first met her, she was an individual agent, a solo agent, and her production was hovering around the 7 million mark for a few years.
6 to 7.
6 to 7, and I think when we met, you had first said that you really, you have an active lifestyle, you like to travel, you really didn't. The idea of selling more real estate than that was difficult without sacrificing family time with your little one and your husband, and so it was kind of difficult. We were hitting a ceiling.
I was, and I needed help. I wanted to continue having my own real estate company, and I also wanted to be a wife and a mother, but I also wanted to play because I like to work hard and play hard.
Yes, you do well at that. Well, you've gotten better at both. And then after one full year of us working together, her production skyrocketed. She went from 7 million to 17 million almost overnight, literally. And at that point in time, throughout that process, you brought on a couple people. You brought in an administrative manager and a buyer's agent.
Yes.
Right. And so that was a turbulent year because your production, you were hiring, you were training.
Training. That was the biggest challenge that I needed help with in coaching and finding that balance.
Yes. Yeah. But then it leveled and you kept growing because then the next year, which was last year, or we're wrapping up this year.
Right. It's 2016.
We are about to finish with 22 million, correct?
22 million, yes.
Yeah, and that is awesome. So then, and that running at 22 million, still growing.
Correct.
And even though the production's growing, your time off and time with family is growing too, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've just booked a 2.5-week trip to Australia and New Zealand in February.
That is great.
And never thought that would ever happen being a real estate agent.
Yeah, so that is the benefit a lot of people look at. I can't tell you how many people I talk to will say, well, I don't want to hire and deal with the headaches of employees, which, I mean, I guess there are some additional leadership concerns there. However, it's very hard to leave a real estate business and still provide customer service to your clients without some help.
The past 2 years, I've taken a week-long vacation, and I did not answer my phone once.
That is wonderful.
Never thought that would happen.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You are covered when you're gone.
Yes.
And next year, if I remember correctly, your goal is, what's your goal for next year?
30 million.
30 million. Another big jump next year. And that's
in a shifting market.
Yeah, in a market that could be shifting. In other words, but you're still going to plow upwards anyway.
Absolutely.
And you're probably going to bring on 1 or 2 more people to help with that as well.
Yep. We're looking at 1 more admin and 1 more on the buy side to help with buyers.
And that should enable more lifestyle for you as well, too.
That's the goal.
So more lifestyle, more production, and that's also more net income, too. We watch that pretty close.
Yes.
So Audra manages a profit loss, and a lot of people will think that just because, her production's going up, so she's got all the sales volume, is she really making any more money with all these people? The point of the matter is she is, and she knows that.
Absolutely.
That is something you watch at least on a monthly basis, correct?
Monthly basis, have a CPA that provides it every month. We also have an internal one that we do just as a checks and balance type thing, and follow that from marketing to salary to how much I'm paying myself. And I write a check once a month to myself.
Right, because we don't want to just look at sales volume. We want to make sure your net income is going up.
Absolutely.
So that's the 2 real markers we look at, is net income going up and is your lifestyle going up? Are you getting more free time, more alone time? Can you turn your phone off? Things like that. And you're doing both.
I'm doing both. And one thing that I've gotten involved with are my kids' school. I don't feel guilty that I'm at school doing stuff and volunteering with them. In fact, I've been able to put that as one of my target markets, and I'm now marketing to my children's school and all their friends.
That's one way to do that. And that's fun. That really is. And that's, I mean, when we look at next year, when you look at going to 30 million in production, that should mean I'm going to have more free time. It shouldn't be that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to work so much harder to get 30 million. And that's the liberating thing about this. You can't think that way at 6 or 7 million by yourself.
It is. And I think that's one thing that's helped me with coaching, that I didn't know how to get to that next step. I didn't know how to get to the ceiling. I know I have dedication. I know I can sell. I didn't know how to set up a structure in a company, job profiles, how to hire people. I knew hiring was important and I knew I needed to find key people, but how to find them. And that's where one of the best things that's ever happened is having a coach, having you help guide me and focusing on the one thing that I needed to focus on. And that's hiring an administrative assistant to take care of the little things so I could focus on the big things, meaning my 20%, getting out there in sales. Let my admin do the 80% work that I needed to be focusing on other things and let her focus on it.
Well, I'll tell you that you mentioned something there with job profiles and job descriptions. And to me, and we were just chatting before, you have really seen those come in handy for you with both your admin and your buyer's agent. And I think a lot of people overlook that. They think of a job description as just another sheet that they show to impress people, but there's a big use out there that I think a lot of people don't know. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say it's helped me a lot, and Brian, in your coaching with me and helping me set up the profile, it helped because it's a way for me to hold them accountable without always being the bad guy. Mm-hmm. It was a way for me to say, you agreed that you would bring a buyer for every buyer I gave you. You agreed that whether it's an admin job, that you would take this off and you would handle this document and this, and this. This is your job now because you agreed to it from day one. And it really helped provide me an easy tool to use instead of, oh, she's being the bad guy. So it helped me, and not only you coaching me to be a better leader, but it helped me coach my team and help them and say, this is what you agreed to from day one and you didn't have a problem. How come we're 6 months or a year into it and you have a problem?
And let me give you some hypotheticals here where that often comes in, because you're hitting it right on the head. For example, with a sales agent or a buyer's agent on your team, if you have a situation where they are required to bring business to the team and not just rely on the lead agent to give them leads, whether it be from their own COI or prospecting or whatever, they need to bring in business too. That needs to be on that job description, which it is for you. So that if we get to a point later, maybe 3/4 of the way through the year, if the buyer's agent has only closed 20 transactions and they want to close more, and they say, Audra, I need some more business. As long as, like you do, source those leads and you know that, wow, I've given you 20 and you haven't brought any to the table. Now we can redirect the conversation as, what can we do to start working on your COI? Yeah. What can we do to make sure that you can match that? Because had you matched what I gave you, you would have 40 transactions now. And they say, well, I came to the team to receive leads. Oh, well, no, you didn't. Remember the job description? I want to help you generate your business too.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that takes the bad guy away, because those memories, they fade.
They do.
They absolutely fade. And good people can have memories fade. It just happens.
Well, and you've also helped us and set up our weekly team meetings, that the meeting has an agenda. We focus on our goals. We focus on where every buyer has come from. We talk about that every single week at our team meeting. So they're in front of other people. It's easy way to see if they're meeting their goals or not.
Your buyer's agent is working very hard on her database right now, isn't she?
Absolutely.
And it's because of those meetings.
Absolutely. She's gotten involved in Chamber of Commerce. She's networking with her children's school, different social nonprofit organizations to see who she can get leads from. She's scheduled listing appointments already for me.
Right. And
it's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you mean I have a listing appointment Saturday? Perfect. So let's do it.
If you transfer what's in the job description, those expectations,
yes,
and then hold them to them, that can be very motivating, so they don't become dependent. They don't just depend on you give me more. That's what I see with sales agents and rainmakers or lead agents on real estate teams, where they go very, very askew. They start blaming, they become victims, and they just want more out of you. But if you hold them accountable, it's a much healthier relationship if both people are giving. And we just keep reminding of that. It starts with that job description. It starts with that agreement up front to do it.
One of the best tools that I learned from you was to do that. You know, I can sell the real estate, like I said earlier. It's setting up some of those expectations and getting in from day one, making sure you're putting the cart before the horse and lining it up. And that definitely has helped my team, to help my leadership. and our whole group, our organization.
This also works true with administrative managers. And
Absolutely.
so if you are going to hire an administrative manager and you're going to have them do a full job description, that's not typically just handling your transactional work, the listing side and the contract to close side.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's managing your database, managing your website, managing a profit and loss and a budget,
Yep.
doing a lot of your marketing and your mailers and things like that. Typically when you first hire that person, you're just, you're busy or heck, and you're like, well, here, handle all my transactions and input all my
Yeah.
listings. And then it's not till later that they learn how to do all that they ultimately decide, okay, now I finally got time to work on your database and get all your mailers done, and let me learn how to do a profit loss and work on your budget. Oftentimes that could be 9 months or a year down the road.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, if you have them do that, and you say, oh, by the way, I need you to do my profit and loss, they're going to say, well, I don't have time. How much are you going to pay me to do that?
It's helped me. You're absolutely right. And it's also helped me. I always do a 90-day review after they've been with us. And then I do annual reviews every year.
Right.
And so I pull out that job description at that annual review.
Are you doing all this?
What have we done?
Yeah.
What have we mastered? What have we started and haven't finished? What do we need help with? And how can I help them reach these goals and finish the job description? What else, is it leverage? Is it different things like that? So that's what's important. And it's all going back to what you told me. You better start with a job description before you hire somebody.
It's very important that they realize that they can get more efficient at those tasks they initially learn, and they're expected to, because they're going to need to take on the rest of their job description over time. So
Absolutely.
Bring it out. That's very important, Audra. Continuing to bring it out and reviewing it to make sure they are taking on new tasks regularly. And then ultimately, you're looking this next year for that 30 million goal. You're bringing on somebody else, or you've just brought on somebody else to get ready for next year. And now your administrative manager can actually give away half that job description. And guess who gets to train that?
She does.
Not
it's
you.
Fabulous.
Right.
I'm not doing it. She's doing it.
Right. So you're back doing what you do, which is family and generate business.
Correct.
And now she's been able to gobble up and then give it away now because we did force that. So that's awesome.
And it's crazy. It's been 2.5 years since you've been helping me.
Yeah, that's right.
And I went from 1 person to 3 and probably going to 5 here very shortly.
It's been fun to watch.
Because of the coaching and the things that you've helped, from
thank you.
Job descriptions to hiring people and setting goals and running it like a business.
Well, as much as I'd love this topic to keep going, we're going
to... we could go on and on.
We're going to keep it. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. Audra, you too. Thanks so much for taking the time to share what you've learned.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye, guys.